Have you ever wondered how the thirst for power and territorial expansion could lead to a devastating war? Let's delve into history and explore the role of imperialism in World War I. Imperialism as a concept is an intoxicating blend of power, prestige, and ambition. It's about one nation exerting influence and control over another, often under the guise of civilizing or modernizing. The late 19th and early 20th centuries were the heyday of this global power play, with European powers jostling for dominance in a high-stakes game of risk. A key theatre in this scramble for power was Africa. The scramble for Africa saw countries like Britain, France, Germany, and Belgium, among others, vying for control of African territories. This competition wasn't friendly, though. On the contrary, it sparked rivalries and tensions that prepared the stage for a much larger conflict, World War I. Now let's move on to the war itself. World War I was a cataclysmic event that shook the world to its core. It was a war that saw the collapse of empires and the rise of new ones. Russia, Germany, Austria-Hungary, and the Ottoman Empire, all of these once mighty entities crumbled during or after the war, dramatically reshaping the global balance of power. These seismic shifts weren't just confined to the war's immediate aftermath. The Treaty of Versailles, which ended the war, also played a significant role in redrawing the world map. It dismantled empires, redistributed colonies, and laid the groundwork for future conflicts, including the even more devastating World War II. As we see, imperial ambitions, alliances, and territorial disputes were key factors in the lead-up to World War I, a war that reshaped the world as we know it. The end of World War I brought about a new world order, but not without its own set of challenges and conflicts. Let's examine the aftermath of the war and the impact of the Treaty of Versailles. The Treaty of Versailles, signed in the summer of 1919, was intended to mark the end of the Great War. Yet, it was far from a perfect peace. The treaty was more of a punitive decree than a peace agreement, imposing heavy reparations on Germany and dismantling several empires. This, in turn, led to a significant redistribution of territories, changing the geopolitical landscape. Germany was held responsible for the war and was subjected to harsh penalties. The nation lost all of its colonies and was required to pay hefty reparations, a burden that crippled its economy and stoked resentment among its people. The Austro-Hungarian Empire was disassembled and the Ottoman Empire was partitioned. This led to the creation of several new nations, including Czechoslovakia and Yugoslavia in Europe, and Iraq and Syria in the Middle East. However, these newly formed countries were often composed of diverse ethnic groups with long-standing tensions, creating a hotbed for future conflicts. The Treaty of Versailles also set the stage for a significant shift in world powers. With the collapse of the Russian, German, Austro-Hungarian, and Ottoman empires, the balance of power was now leaning towards the Allies. The United States emerged as a new global power, while France and Britain maintained their imperialistic ambitions, further feeding into the tensions that would eventually lead to World War II. In essence, the Treaty of Versailles, while intended to secure lasting peace, inadvertently sowed the seeds of another devastating conflict. The punitive measures against Germany, the arbitrary drawing of national borders, and the shifting balance of power all contributed to a volatile world stage, ripe for another round of conflict. The Treaty of Versailles changed the geopolitical landscape, setting the stage for another devastating war just 2 decades later. While the age of imperialism may seem like a distant past, its echoes can still be heard in the modern world. Let's explore how. As we navigate through the 21st century, the shadow of imperialism looms over our geopolitical landscape. Take, for instance, the tension between Russia and Ukraine in 2024. The Russian threat of deploying 100,000 combat troops sparked fears of a potential conflict in Europe. This situation is reminiscent of the rivalries and territorial disputes that fueled wars in the past, showing us how the echoes of imperialism reverberate in the present. International relations, much like a delicate dance, require nuanced perspectives. One misstep, one misplaced assumption can lead to a cascade of consequences. The complexities of these relations are further magnified when we consider the historical context. Just as the scramble for Africa set the stage for World War I, today's territorial disputes can escalate into larger conflicts. However, it's important to note that the world has also learned from its past. The importance of arms control treaties, for example, has been underscored by the devastating wars of the 20th century. These treaties serve as a safeguard, a buffer to prevent the spark of aggression from igniting a full-blown war. They are a testament to the strides we've made in diplomacy and conflict resolution, even as we grapple with the echoes of imperialism. The past and the present are intertwined, each influencing the other in ways we may not always immediately perceive. The age of imperialism, with its ambition-driven conquests and rivalries, has left its mark on our world. Its impact can be seen in the geopolitical tensions we face today, reminding us of the intricate web that is international relations. The past, as it seems, continues to shape our present, reminding us of the complexities and challenges of international relations. History often provides us with valuable lessons. In the context of imperialism and global conflicts, what can we learn, and how can we apply these lessons to the future? Let's take a leaf out of economist Thomas Sowell's book, a man known for his intellectual prowess and his journey from Marxism to free market advocacy. One of the key themes in his work is intellectual honesty. This means striving to see the world as it is, not as we wish it to be, and acknowledging the realities of global politics and conflicts. It's about recognizing the complexities and nuances of situations, rather than oversimplifying them for convenience. Sowell also emphasized the importance of incentives. In the realm of international relations, this means understanding what motivates nations, their leaders, and their citizens. What are the rewards they seek? What are the consequences they fear? Understanding these incentives can help us predict behaviors and manage conflicts. Next on Sowell's list is the concept of human capital. This is the idea that our greatest resource is not physical or financial, but human. The skills, knowledge, creativity, and resilience of people are what truly drive progress. This understanding should guide our approach to education, economic development, and social policies, ensuring that we invest in people and empower them to contribute to society. Lastly, Sowell underscored the respect for social processes and institutions. These are the structures that guide our interactions, maintain order, and provide stability. While they can and should be critiqued and reformed as needed, they also need to be respected and preserved. They are the glue that holds societies together and provides a framework for resolving conflicts. But perhaps the most important lesson from Sowell is the importance of challenging assumptions and promoting critical thinking. This means questioning our beliefs and biases, seeking diverse perspectives, and being open to new ideas. It's about learning from the past, but not being bound by it, recognizing that the world is always changing and that we must adapt with it. As we continue to navigate the complex terrain of global politics, let us remember the lessons of the past and strive for a future of peace and understanding.